Hey guys, good afternoon. Yes, I'm still out and about in New York City. I'm just walking down a side street as I go on my journey. And I was just thinking about something. I was just thinking about the term good neighborhood. If you're a black person, you've heard that term before. But I want to talk about why I want to talk about good neighborhoods. Okay? Now, to kind of yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to compete with that. But yeah, I want to talk about something before I get to where I need to go. Now I was just walking down the side street here. I've never been on this street before. It's very nice. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day. And I started thinking about that guy, what was his name? The fellow that got arrested for allegedly human trafficking those young girls. I can't remember the name right now. It'll probably come to me. I don't know how that I can't remember his name right now. But you know that guy. He has an island. He owns an island in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and they're finding all this incriminating stuff. They have they have all this incriminating stuff on him, and so what happens? They're having fun at him. Yeah, this is a lively street. I like it. But see, what happened with this guy? About 12 years ago, he was actually arrested. Sorry, he was actually arrested for a minor offense regarding consensual sex, with a prostitute. Not that the so-called prostitute was a child, a minor, okay? But he gets off, and also it turns out that during this time, he was supposed to be like doing probation. He's in jail, but he can work outside of the jail for 12 hours and come back. And he had all this free liberties, just sign in and out and gone all day and then come back just to sleep. It's coming out all the info. But what got me to do this video is that, see, this guy, I wish I could remember his name. But here he has a residence in Manhattan. I'm in Manhattan right now, Manhattan in New York City. His dwelling place, he has the largest private home in New York City, the largest. It's worth like about $22 million. And it was found out that he virtually was gifted that house for $1. Okay, that's virtually, just paying $1, that's virtually giving the house away, okay? And it used to be a school, children's school. So, I'm walking in this neighborhood. Now, where he lived, in Manhattan, and the school that he used to work in very briefly, it's considered a very luxurious, extremely high-end, and extremely difficult to move in. Extremely. And so, you have this expression about living in a good neighborhood. And that neighborhood, I think it was like 70 something street on the east side. That's considered very conservative, very hard to move in. And if you look like me, you can't move in there. And if you look like me, you can't go to those schools. But see, the irony is that here, a neighborhood like that is very much into being cautious about who moves in when the people look something like me. So they spend all this time preventing you from moving in, but then they let in someone like that guy that I was talking to you about. That is a known pedophile. Okay? A known pedophile. And then the school that he worked in, without a college degree, it was said he went to Cooper Union. How you doing? Hey guy, how you doing? So anyway. So he has an opportunity. He's a college dropout, and then he somehow, being a college dropout, he might have been around in his early 20s at the time, and he gets a job in the most prestigious prep school that's also on the Upper East Side. I think it's called Dalton School. Okay, let me switch hands. He was in what's called Dalton School. Only the top of the top could get in that school, and probably the price to even get in is ridiculous, you know. And so I'm dumbfounded right now as I started thinking about this as I walked down this street. This is an expensive area to move into. You know, everything in this city, you know, is easily $1 million. I'm in Texas. I would. You're funny. You're funny. Yeah. So anyway, you have. I lost train of thought now. So anyway, you have a school that is so prestigious, and people may have to buy their way to get into that school. You know, that's the only way how some people can get in, to buy your way in. But if you look like me, you can't get into a school like that unless you're someone so extremely high up, but some white guy has to vouch for you. So you have people who are surfacing, and they look on the exterior if they're the right so-called race. And then, let's see, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so you have people who want to move into neighborhoods like where that guy lives in, that known pedophile, okay? And now he's arrested again, in jail. But it's known for years what he is, and even despite the fact that after he did about 13 months jail time, but again, he was allowed to work, so he can leave the jail to his place, his home, to do business with children, okay, and then come back at nighttime to sleep, or whatever what time he came back, okay. So he still has access to children, minors, probably still doing what he's doing. No one is questioning how he gets his money. Yeah, he is a sicko. I can't remember his name. If you remember the name of the guy who recently got arrested, he's was child trafficking, and he was getting these girls, what they call grooming these young girls, and he's connected with the presidents. He's connected with other heads of businesses and stuff like that. And what else? He had gotten arrested 12 years ago, and then now he's rearrested for I even heard that he allegedly had 20 young females to impregnate all 20 of them so that they have their genetics. And so it might have also been a genetic plan, I think, actually having babies to be blood sacrifice. That's what I really think. See, these sickles, they love themselves, and they're such perverts that they're willing to even kill their own. Yes, thank you so much. Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, that fellow. So I'm walking down this neighborhood here. I'm just thinking about how people like me are being pushed out to even consider living in a neighborhood or going to a school. And people like me are the loyal people who want to please everybody, and you want to have the American dream, right? I know I want the American dream. That was the motto growing up, to have all this stuff. But they're blocking people like me out of the picture because I'm not the right breed, I'm not the right color, my hair's too kinky. So they do all this stuff to prevent people like myself. But their neighbor, this Jeffrey Epstein, a known pervert, everybody wants to be around him. Everybody's going on his plane. Everybody knows about him, right? Okay. Move to Texas. He said, okay. Yeah. They say to have someone do that to you, and yet your own neighbor, he has the biggest house in New York City, the largest residence that's worth about 22 million, and to find out that he's doing perversions in that house and human trafficking, but yet they're looking at people like me. I can't move in, or I can't go into that school. So isn't that irony? So you're protecting something when actually who you should be worried about are people who look like you, not me. People that look like you are the people who are human trafficking, kidnapping girls, torturing them, raping them, and then you call it, oh, we just doing an introduction. No, it's brainwashing, torture, and crime against humanity of the woman. It's amazing. So I'm walking down this neighborhood, and I'm just baffled that when I was a young girl, and how I always wondered what it would be like to live in a fancy neighborhood. Not going to compete with that. Another truck. Yeah. So I always wondered how it would be like to be rich, to have so-called rich, pretty friends, and to find that those people that you admire are perverts, are child pedophiles, are deviants, are corrupt, are thieves. It's an eye-opener. It is an awakening. And so I felt it necessary as I was walking here. I said, you know, I just loaded up 2 videos of just moments ago. 2 quickie videos I did regarding the black female statue that doesn't have eyes. You know why she doesn't have eyes? She probably saw Jeff Epstein and saw his perversion against these young girls. Right? And I used to live in St. Thomas, and I knew about some of the prostitution. But the prostitutes everything that glitters is gold. Thank you for sharing that. That's right, everything that glitters is not gold. So here I'm a grown woman and learning for, just recently, that truth, that's pearls of wisdom, what you just said, there. Everything that glistens is not necessarily gold, nor diamonds either. And then being excluded all my life from certain opportunities because of what I look like, and find out that these same people, same type of people who control the system that did things to me are perverts, are human trafficking girls, and probably killing them too. Okay. He was, well, I couldn't read your note quick enough. But yeah, what I was going to say, yes, I used to live in St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And it's right next to the island that he bought, Little St. James. And the police told me there, yes, the police told me there that they were taking girls from the Dominican Republic, I think by boat, sending them to St. Thomas, and then they get burnt out real quickly. And it's a police officer who's telling me this. And then they ship them back. They don't last long because they get really burnt out. So just imagine these girls. So it has to be a high turnover. Okay? But so I think the cop that was telling me this in St. Thomas, he's telling me this, I guess it's different levels of prostitution. There's the prostitute for the common folk, but people like Jeff Epstein are for the high rollers. And so usually the more wealthy the person, the more perverted they are. So my speculation that they had to replace those girls even more than the girls from what that police officer was telling me about. This was in the 1980s. No, I'm sorry, 1990. From like 90, 91. Okay? So, yeah, so people knew about prostitution being sent there on the island. Yeah, I've never heard of Jeff Epstein until this year, 2019, okay? And so, here, all this stuff is coming out, okay? And all these people, and then he lives here in New York City. He lives in Manhattan, where I live. I can't live in this neighborhood. Those people in that neighborhood, they probably call the cops if they see someone like me walking at nighttime. But yet, what's going on in their own neighborhood, don't they ever wonder why all these young girls are going in that place? But see, people are blinded by money. They see the veneer. None of that money was his. He was being given money, and it being funneled into other places. He was no investor. He was receiving money from his higher ups to corrupt people, to blackmail them. That's what I think. I never met the man, didn't know who he was until this year. Okay? But it's just, I'm just awakening about what's really going on. It's a whole system, and people know about it, but they're playing stupid. They're playing dumb. Everybody, I'm sure, in his caliber knows of the perversions he was doing to those young girls. But see, as they say, they like them young, okay? They like them young. Yeah, I don't blame them. You can like them young, but legal. Okay? So, that's all that I have to say regarding, and I hope the sound is okay. I mean, I'm out in the street, I don't have my mic, but yeah. Yeah, that's live. No, yeah, finger. Yeah. So, that's all that I'm going to share right now. I just felt it necessary to share this because, see, this is a beautiful neighborhood. See that? I think it's on 22nd Street. But it's a nice, quiet little block. It's very quiet in general. And for me to move in, to buy, these are all co-ops or condos. It's over $1 million each. And then on the east side where Jeff Epstein lives, that's mega money. And to live there, you have to be of the right pedigree. Okay, you have to be a certain pedigree, regardless of what money you have. Okay, but here, that neighborhood is a pervert neighborhood, and I say it like that because they lied to all of us. They lied about being goodly and clean. They're a bunch of nasty people. Yes. So those people that live in Harlem or East New York, you pat yourself on the back because you're not near as nasty as the East Side over there. Okay? So don't put shame on you. When you see people that look like Jeffrey Epstein, you just laugh to yourself what those people are really about. Okay? But you know, perversion is what's in the heart. It's not in the race. The race doesn't determine your qualities, what's inside. I want to make sure I get that out, okay? So I'm not trying to bash any race, but just expose of the deceptions and that we grew up thinking that certain people, certain locations are so-called good and other places are bad. But as we see that there's something wicked, the spook at the door didn't look like me. The spook was them, okay? So take care, guys. I hope you enjoyed this spontaneous live stream video. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.